Joining me now, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. Senator, we just played a clip of you today on the Hill, and I wanted to just ask him. Elon Musk has tweeted or retweeted nearly 40 times about his opposition to the Big Ugly Bill, by our account. Maybe it's more now over the last 15 minutes. Who knows? You've been pretty clear this is an altruism on his part. I don't think so either. Tell us more about what you think is really behind it, and what, if any, impact you think it could have on Republicans in the Senate.
I mean, the entire administration is a grift from top to bottom. So everybody that's close to Donald Trump is close to him because they want to become rich and they want Donald Trump to make them rich. And that's always been the center of this alliance between Musk and Donald Trump, that Musk is going to get government contracts. Musk is going to get sort of secret exclusive access to the kind of data that he needs to get an advantage on his competitors. And it appears that he didn't get everything that he wanted in this bill to help his companies. And so he's throwing a temper tantrum. He's trying to burn the bill down because, at least for him, the grift is not as worth it, as lucrative as it was, just a couple months ago. So you have to understand none of this is on the level. I mean, this is all about a bunch of thieves stealing from us. And when the thieves don't get the cut that they were promised, then they get angry. We've seen this movie many times before. Quentin Tarantino has done it very well. The impact that this has, I don't know. I mean, in the end, this is a one boss party, Donald Trump. And so, Musk may make stuff difficult on them in the short run. And it's certainly good for TV ratings and clicks. But I think Donald Trump basically tells the Republican Party how high to jump and they follow orders. So as you said in the opening, it's just probably true that some version of this bill passes the Senate, even if Elon Musk is crapping on it because Trump is the boss.
And what we're about to see, and I suspect you'll agree with me on this one, is people who have expressed concern about Medicaid cuts and the horrible impact this will have on Americans somehow dial themselves back and find a way to support it. I don't want that to be the case, but I think it's important we're clear-eyed about that possibility, right?
I think that's right. There's often a lot of hand-wringing from Senate Republicans, but they tend to follow orders. That being said, we were all around in the beginning of 2017, 2018, when everybody assumed that the repeal of the Affordable Care Act was going to pass because it was their number one agenda item. Just like right now, these Medicaid cuts, throwing 15 million people off their insurance, is their number one agenda item. And because we mobilized all over the country, we actually defeated that bill, not in the House, but in the Senate. We got just enough senators. We needed 3 back then. We need just 1 more now, 4. And the harm is really no different. Back then, we were talking about 20 million people losing their Obamacare coverage. Today, CBO just clarified that the high estimate is 16 million people, so about the same number of Americans losing their health care. So I haven't given up on this. I know how powerful Trump is, but I think we could mobilize over the course of the next month to convince 4 Senate Republicans to either vote against this thing or at least to demand that the Medicaid cuts get rolled dramatically back.
No question. And activism hugely matters. That's a perfect example of it. It matters both in pressuring people, but it also matters in telling the story of the impact of things, as you were saying on the Hill today. And you just launched a new PAC, the American Mobilization Project. And there's lots of interesting things about this, but one of the most interesting things to me is there are a lot of PACs out there doing all sorts of things, but yours is fundraising primarily for voter registration of young people and for groups like one that mobilizes people out there who are doing peaceful protests. I know that one of the first groups you're supporting is one that's mobilizing doctors and nurses to support Medicaid. Tell me why you've decided for that to be your focus.
Yeah, so, lots of my colleagues have these political action committees, and normally they're used to support candidates and, support the, individual senators travel around the country. This one is different. The money we're raising here is going straight to groups on the ground that are mobilizing, and it's going to be a big commitment. We started off with $400,000 pledged to these youth groups that are organizing against the corruption, and then these doctors and nurses that are organizing as voices against the Medicaid cuts. And we're targeting to try to spend over $2 million just on protest and mobilization, because my theory, Jen, we can't be preparing for the 2026 election. It might not come. all of our focus right now has to be on protecting the democracy, about stopping the corruption. And so I'm trying to sort of model something for my colleagues. Instead of, raising money and hoarding it to spend in the next election, let's raise money and spend it right now on the streets. So, yeah, people can go to, my website, chrismurphy.com. You can learn more about American Mobilization Project. And if you choose to support it, that money's going to go straight to the ground to support the kind of protests that we're going to need if we have any chance of stopping these Medicaid cuts.
We'll keep looking out for those protests of those doctors and nurses. I'm sure you'll share them with us, too. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you, when we started the show, I mentioned this. Trump signed a new travel ban targeted at 12 different countries. The ban is going to go into effect on Monday. It's a much bigger travel ban than what Trump issued during his first term. I mentioned it feels to me it's important for people to understand what it is. No doubt people will be impacted, of course, in these countries, but also an effort to distract from what's happening with this bill and Elon Musk and a lot of the disarray that's happening within the party and, frankly, within the White House. But what do you make of it?
Okay, it's so important we talk about this because this is the whole game, is that the actual agenda here is to steal from us. The actual agenda is to steal from regular Americans in order to pad the pockets of the rich. So what does this bill do? It actually costs money for 40% of the American public. You get poorer if you are in the bottom 40%, and the richest families get a tax cut of $270,000. Okay, nobody wants that. That's super unpopular. So how do you get that done? You distract people by making them think that they're at war with other Americans, making them think that they have something to fear from people who look different from them or speak a different language. This is what demagogues have done all throughout time, is to divide us from each other, make us feel like we need to be fighting ourselves, while on the side they're stealing from us, either through legislation like we're debating in the Senate today, or old-fashioned thievery, as has also been happening in this administration as well. So yeah, understand that this is important. Anytime you ban people coming to the United States from other countries, it has a real impact, but it is chiefly in service of trying to get us all talking about that, or talking about the Biden investigation they launched today, instead of talking about the centerpiece of this story, which is this bill to make the rich even richer at the expense of everybody else.
I could not agree with you more. We're going to keep talking about this bill, and we're not even going to talk about all the random things that he posts, who knows, over the next couple of hours, because that's exactly what he's trying to do. Senator Chris Murphy, thank you for launching your PAC. Thank you for explaining it and for being here with us to really talk about the things that matter tonight. Really appreciate it.